So, good afternoon, everybody. Just coming up to 2:30 in the UK. Happy New Year. Welcome along to our second year as Vocal Booth Radio. 12 months gone in the blink of an eye. I am currently sat on a Zoom call with 39 other wonderful boys and girls. The Vocal Booth Radio squad was saying hi to some of the listeners inside the chat room, and all of the DJs are in there as well. The purpose of this little radio show is to heap praise upon the boys and girls, the men and women who have helped given us amazing first year, as well as laying flowers at the feet of you fantastic listeners, because as we all know, together we make this community what it is. And if it wasn't for the combined efforts, then we wouldn't be here. If you're expecting to hear some music, then unfortunately you're not going to hear much. You may want to go and listen to something else for the next however long it takes. We're all having a little chat, and we're talking about our first year. Now, I have accosted Mr. John Coomer as the first one to step up to the plate and share some words on 12 months of Vocal Booth Radio. Fairly certain John Coomer needs no introduction as the man that kickstarts our Sundays. John was mentioned heavily throughout the end of year awards, and at some point we are going to be looking at those results. But for now, we are just discussing everything else other than the results. So, Mr. Coomer, hello. Can I hear you loud and clear?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. If any of our DJs in the Zoom spots anything, then do let me know. John, tell me about your first 12 months, brother.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for, I'd say inviting, but you kind of left an open window, an open invitation for people that thought they might want to get involved. I needed a couple of changes in my life, and it's something that was going to give me something that I could focus on. And the Vocal Booth Radio has really done that for me. It's almost as if I've had something that makes life worth getting up for at the weekend. When you work hard in the week, or whether you work 7 days a week or whatever you do, you need something to take your mind away from normality. And not only has it given me something to do, but it's given me something to look forward to as well. So when I work, I listen. When I'm preparing for the weekend, I thoroughly enjoy running through the racks, talking to other DJs, getting onto a phone call saying, that track you play, where'd you get it from? Could you send me I'm re-engaged with music more than I was when I was DJing, even though I still DJ, more than I am as a DJ now at gigs. I'm much more heavily invested in the radio station, because I believe we have access to an audience that's global. They're not critical. They are followers of a movement, and it makes it so worthwhile. It's so rewarding, Andy. Thank you very much for letting us all be part of it as well, because it really has been something, I would say, one of the best years I've had in the last 10, 15 years of being in the music industry, and I've been there a lot longer than that. I have really enjoyed the last year. Amazing. I talk about you all the time. I'm almost like a big fan. I need to get an Andy Ward T-shirt, for fuck's sake. We're live.
That's all right. Don't say fuck, shit or bugger. We're live. Well, thank you for your kind words. When you started, I came to you with the recommendation of the Sunday morning show. There were a few changes to begin, and you said, no, 8 a.m. suits me down to the ground. Were you, and John and I go back 25 plus years, so it's not like I don't know John. However, my mind has gone blank. Were you doing much on the airwaves before this?
I was working with my dear friend Gary Ellis, South Beach Recycling. We did some stuff on Stream 101, so I had a regular show on a Saturday lunchtime. But Gary, being Gary, if he gets depressed, he decides to shut things down. So we did about 2 years, then we stopped. I'd launched a couple of smaller stations down here that have gone now to sort of like become charity stations. But I hadn't done anything consistently that I was completely in control of, that was my own to build and work with. So, no, this brought me back into radio. Hence why Butt and metadata and everything else.
Well, I was just about to say, I don't think you will mind me saying, because you've got broad shoulders, I don't think you'll mind me saying that you were a bloody pain to deal with at the very beginning. So difficult trying to get you to understand what was necessary but eventually, I mean, we got there with it's the same with everyone. I'm not singling you out. We got there with the levels, we got there with what was needed in the background. Would you say that you relaxed into the way you presented the show as well? Or would you say, no, I've always been relaxed? Because I think you head and shoulders above.
I've relaxed into it, Andy. I genuinely, you know, the conversations we were having. It was you being as polite as you can be when you're being a complete and utter. I'm going to use the word knob, because when you want to have a go at someone, you've got a way of doing it which is quite polite and also sarcastic as can be. And how many times did I threaten to quit? There was a few. I'd rather not do it anymore. If I've got to do metadata, I'm not doing it anymore. I was a right pain. I know I was. I got to thank people like Steve Reed, Kevin, Randy. So many people were coming on the phone and on everything else, trying to talk me through stuff. But I think I've relaxed into it. I think you've made it a lot easier because you've relaxed as well. I think you've realised that we're not all at the same level as you. You have got so much experience in what you do. I think sometimes you think everybody should be able to do it. Well, we can't. We actually can't. And no matter how hard you push somebody, remember that old saying, you can take a horse to water, you cannot make it drink. You know, it's just one of those things where you've relaxed and made it much easier for us to get over our limitations and revel in the things that we're good at, whether it be just presenting and stuff, getting my show put on a podcast because I'll just do them live, and if no one gets a chance to listen to it again, that's tough. I just think you've relaxed, which has made everybody else relax. And we've all grown into this. So many people have grown. I've listened to shows for a year now, and the people that are on these shows that present are so clever, inventive, having guests come on board. You know, it's inspirational, and that's because you've allowed us to do that. So again, it's props to you, but I'm much more comfortable than I was 12 months ago.
Cool. Well, thank you for saying. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've relaxed or I just stopped caring. It's
same thing, really.
yeah, it is. No, you know, it is. And I said before we actually went live, I'm fully aware of the changes that were necessary, and it is as I said, I've had a very tough year as well, and it is difficult sometimes to something that is so simple to me, because I've been doing it for 25 years. It's so difficult and I've had conversation and there are very few people actually that walked away because of the issues. I mean, like 2 people out of 90 plus DJs. It's not bad, really. The retention hasn't been that bad at all.
Yeah, the dartboard with your face on it has come down. You know, it's all life is so much easier now.
But you know what? After all of the amazing praise that all of the DJs and all the listeners have been given, I think we all deserve that pat on the back for the hard work that we put in, because if you push the standards higher, then Vocal Booth Radio is what comes out of it. So, but thank you for saying so, John. What I want to do, I want to take an opportunity, possibly thinking you may not remember some of your choices. Would you be comfortable talking about some of the choices that you've made within the awards, or would you rather not?
I can't remember many of them, to be honest. I think I can, yeah, but I'm happy to talk about them, yeah.
Would you like me to read some of them out for you?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Okay, so John Coomer with his awards, and I am fully aware that the awards were meant to be a lot smoother than they actually ended up being, which is why some people had to submit them 2 or 3 times, and then you forget, well, who did I vote for before? What did I say to begin with? That was because when I decided to go down the route that I did, I was assured that it was possible to edit your choices, and in the end you wasn't. So I made so much work for myself that was unnecessary. So I'll apologise to everyone and thank you for your patience in doing it. So John, best microphone energy. You said the Brother C with the Rising Sessions.
Yeah. Smooth as, I mean, again, Charles has been doing this a long time, and it's just the way he delivers, the way he engages. He makes everybody feel really comfortable, and it's inspirational. And it's also for those that don't feel as confident as Charles or don't feel as confident to speak, listen to Charles, because he doesn't have to say a lot, but what he does say makes sense. And a couple of words, just even an expression in between a track, can add so much more to that track that's delivered, and to the feeling that you're getting from the DJ about how passionate he is about what he's doing. Charles has got a fantastic delivery, knowledge that is exceptional, but it's genuinely crisp and smooth.
Beautiful.
And yeah, he's someone we should all pay more attention to.
Okay.
Thank you, Charles.
Here. Thank you for that. Moving along, and we will focus and come back to some of these decisions a little later on. You said your best technical DJ in the mix was Mr. Revolve, Mr. Blackwax.
Yeah, mate. Again, Steve is... Okay, and Steve's a good friend. He's a very good friend. I don't think Steve realised how good he is. He reminds me of one of my dear friends, and again, everyone knows that I'm dear friends with Gary at South Beach Recycling. Gary's an exceptional DJ, but his confidence is low. I don't think Steve will mind me saying that his confidence is never the greatest, but his endeavour, his skill, his ability to build the stories that he can take you on, his musical knowledge, all make him an exceptional DJ. No matter whether he's playing northern soul, modern soul, deep house, soulful house, disco, he blends, builds, and works music together so beautifully. It's a lesson for everyone to take note, because that's what you call somebody who's honed a skill, mastered the art, and delivers every time. Scott described his set at the Weekender as being one of the best he's ever heard. I have to agree. But I hear Steve do that time and time again. He's just exceptional at putting music together.
Beautiful. Steve was in here earlier to hear that. I do see him. He's got his hand up. I'll come back for replies to everyone from this a little later on. I'm sure he's very pleased about that. You also gave a couple of mentions for your best monthly show to Fitzroy. Best monthly show, and show that you wished was weekly. With his Back to the Future. Yeah.
Again, vastly experienced, a wealth of knowledge. Look, when you put this station together, I don't know whether the idea was a mix of experience and excitement and enthusiasm, or whether it was let's just see how we run, how we go. But with Fitz, you've got, and I'm going to mention Paul Farris in the same breath, an experience that you've got, and a knowledge that you've got of the industry and of the scene. It's not naked knowledge. It's a deep centered knowledge of their music, and that you hear that when they're talking, and you hear that in the music that's delivered, and that comes across by so many. Listen, there's Scott. There's so many people that have got that knowledge. You know, Mr. Tomlinson, who is the genius at talking whilst playing, whilst keeping you engaged. That you have so many. But because the only reason why, and the reason why it was Fitz, was because it's a show I would have liked to have seen gone weekly. Everybody else that I've mentioned has got the same knowledge and the same skill, and it's something you've molded together. You've got the knitting needles. You put it together. Why is the station working? Because of this hybrid mix of people that love music, and Fitzroy's love of music Soul Survivors, the magazine, the man. I've seen foot marching around London. Well, I could be in any record shop in London, and if I stay there long enough, Fitzroy will come through the door. You know, that's basically how dedicated this man is to what he does. So that's where I gave that.
Props. Thank you for sharing those words. You talk about experience. I was just making sure everything was going smoothly inside the chat room. I'm sure everyone would like to give a wave and a shout out to Schoolie. Happy New Year, brother. Love you. Okay, let me continue with some of your choices. Now, from someone who rated very highly as one of the best presenter voices, John, it will be interesting to hear that you gave that accolade. See, I told you I'm good at talking off the top of my head. It's just the words just come to me out of thin air. You laid the accolade of best presenter voice at the feet of Mark Goddard. Tell us why.
Great. Where did you find this geezer, man? Mark Goddard. He can make a story out of anything. It's just unbelievable talent. I am so pleased to do the show before him. I can do a show and not speak, and know that Mark Goddard will cover everything that I've done, pick up on every track that I've played, comment on them, and have something. He's gold. He's gold. You know, that's where my award went, because that's it. He is gold. He can talk. His topics are just sensational. They have so little to do with music, some of them, but they are just sensational. So, Mark, I absolutely love what you do, my friend.
Love that. Thank you, John. Let me just say, Neil, Mr. Pinnock's got to drop off. Did you want to say anything quickly before you bounce, mate, or you...
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Go on, Ryan. An amazing year. I've thoroughly enjoyed listening to loads of the DJs that played on sets, and as everybody else has said, the crowd is growing. The Country Beat Radio team has grown by one with Jeff Garcia, which has made it a little bit easier when some people can't make the show. But I'm really pleased with the way things have gone. And thank you, Andy, for what you've done.
No, thank you, mate, for herding those cats on a Tuesday
they
night.
Definitely are. Yeah.
They're not the easiest to deal with, but respect, man. Well, I'll let you crack on and have your Tuesday evening. Give my love to everyone.
I will do. You take care. Take care,
See
everybody.
you,
Happy New
Respect.
Year. Bye-bye.
So let me just say again, I'll just recap for everybody listening. I am sat on a Zoom call. We got 35 of our DJs here. We're going to be talking to as many of them as can afford us their time to talk through their choices, but also to reflect on the amazing 12 months that we've had. John Kumar is currently talking through some of his choices. I doubt we're going to do this for the whole bunch of people in front of me, but seeing as John is happy to talk and he's got to bounce soon, I'm going to continue with this through. And there are only 20 categories, by the way. He says only 20 categories. You mentioned there Andy Tomlinson, John, best weekly show and biggest party starter, dedicated out to Tomo.
Wow. Okay, yeah, you kind of know the weekends. There's a my Fridays on Vocal Booth are just heaven. I'm at work. I could be at work. I could be anywhere, and I just know from Scott to Andy, just as it goes on, Phil, that I can name that day. It's that easy for me to do it. I'm not someone that, honestly, do I want to listen to a banging house or even that uplifting house at 9:30, 10 in the morning? Not really. I've got a lot more going on my head. But he does it. It's the delivery. It's just the way. It's, you know, some of his now infamous lines just work because of the way he does it. So yeah, look, and like I said, it's an assembly of some real gems. You really have put together some gems, and you force people to come out of their comfort zones and talk. Those who didn't want to talk are talking. Those that do talk are mixing. Those that everyone's doing things that you're pushing them beyond their comfort zones. But yeah, Andy Tomo.
Yeah. Nothing of note was ever achieved within the comfort zone. I'm sure I've said that to quite a few people.
Yeah.
And I know full well that Tomo will really be touched by your words, John, because I roll my mind back to, Tomo, as you've probably heard me say on my show, Andy Tomo is someone I've probably known the longest out of everyone here. We go back almost 40 years, literally almost 40 years. So I know his passion for the music. I know how, like many people, he dropped off the scene and he jumped in with both feet, so to speak, to take the opportunity when we got him on pressure. And he's come into his own now. And I even commented to him at some point, I think, I'm not sure if it was this year or last year when he's on pressure, you can just hear the energy, the excitement, and the little quip, the attitude definitely comes out. So fair play, Tomo. Give yourself a pat on the back, brother. I'm very, very happy for your development. Moving along, some other questions. Again, you mentioned Tomo saying most consistent, most eclectic. Now, I know this would have been a tight one. We've got the most frequently listened to was Scott Cornwell, and then the most eclectic, David Miller Lawson. Was that tough for you?
No. No, in a word, I've sat with David at my house at events and other things, and David
let me just stop you there. Sorry, Rolf, I'll see you got to jump off. I'll see you when you get back, buddy. Okay, go and have a Chinese.
That's right, Rolf.
Go on then, John.
Yeah.
Sorry,
David will push his music to anybody and everybody that will listen. And David will push vocal booth radio to anybody and everybody that will listen. But what you've allowed David to do is push himself. And he's doing that. I can hear it every show he does. Mm-hmm. And it's just the way he's now been able to go, I don't need to worry about, does it have to be an hour of dance music? Can I go indie? Can I go reggae? Can I go anywhere I want to and hold an audience? Yes, he can, because it's the way he does it. He presents well. He speaks well. He's a great orator when it comes to delivering music, but his knowledge of music as well and what he does with it is brilliant. As for Scott, expect the unexpected. I have to just listen because I never know what he's going to play next, and that to me is it makes it intriguing. I've got to listen because I don't know what he's going to do next week, and for me to follow that is inspirational. There are so many inspirational DJs, and every single person, I could have given everybody an award on this show, on this station, because Emily, when she did her first live interviews, Glitter Mama, when she was talking to the some of her guests, and we were hearing about her traveling around the world and where she was. There's just people that you put together, but it was difficult to give the awards out, but everybody deserves something because everybody's delivered. Everybody's delivered.
Love that. I love that. Thank you for saying. You mentioned Glitter Mama there. You gave her a nod for most improved mic confidence. It hasn't been a secret. I have definitely championed Glitter Mama. She was the biggest surprise for me, pleasant surprise. So very nervous to begin with. And then as soon as the microphone opened, I was like, wow, that wasn't what I was expecting at all. So, fair play to Lisa. And also her commitment, jumping onto these calls at all kinds of hours, down under, late at night, very early in the morning. So I'm glad that you gave her a mention. And that reminds me of something that I'm meant to do. I need to go back to my script because I've completely gone AWOL, as they were. I've gone commando and I feel all uncomfortable. Right, where else did we get to? Because you've got to jump off now. Yep. Outstanding listener support. You gave a shout out to the lovely Lolly. I mean, what do we say about Lolly? I don't actually think she's listening. I think she's out with family and friends at the moment, but she'll be glad to listen back and hear her praise.
Lolly scraped it along with, there was Lolly, and then there was my dearest Nicola Spare as well, and the two of them, if I could have split it, they would have had half each. But Lolly gets it because Lolly is just Lolly. She has so much good to say. She's a champion of everything that you do in terms of vocal booth. She's a champion of every DJ on the station. She's it's not just me. If she hasn't walked away with something as an award, there's something wrong, because she is what you set this up for. Mm-hmm. She is somebody who supports it, champions it, loves it. I tell her off if she misses half my show, and shows her, and she accepts it, you know, because I expect when I go on to look at the people in the room, if she's not there, I'm like, well, where is she? I almost want to ring her up and go, you're late. So yeah, Lolly is just, I think for everybody, and everybody will, I sure appreciate and understand that girl has got a lot to say, and we love her.
Beautiful. Love that. I'm just waving on the screen to Claire, who says she's got to dip off. If anyone has to bounce, just feel free to bounce. You've still got the link. You can come back and join us at any time. I know people are going to have food or whatnot, so we will be here. Thank you, John. Finally, I'm just reading through. You've already heaped praise on Brother C for the most inspirational selector, Lolly. And then you gave a social media champion to Aid Wilcox for his hard work. And then you say who most personifies the vocal booth vibe, the Brother C. So I think you definitely got to get a Brother C t-shirt, right?
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
So there you go. For someone who was not reluctant, but hesitant to speak, you've just done an amazing job of helping us go through these categories. While I've actually got you on air, we are going to be talking at length about plans for events in 2026. Do we want to give anything away? Do we want to talk to these fantastic men and women about what we've got planned, or are we going to wait?
You can do something now, and then we'll do something again in the next week, because you know how close we are to making all the final bits and pieces. But I think you should say something now. Yes.
Oh, I think you should say something.
Okay, right. Been talking to Andy and a few other people that are associated with the Bournemouth scene, and we will be gathering in Bournemouth in May for the return of the Bournemouth Soul and House Music Weekender, which will be powered by Bump and Hustle and Vocal Booth Radio, and a gentleman who you may or may not know called Mr. Keith Nichol, McNichol, who runs a very nice clothes shop in Bournemouth and has been a long-standing Vocal Booth fan, supporter, visitor to the Weekenders. The date will be the first bank holiday in May. It's a multi-venue event over 4 days. Andy is as heavily involved as myself and everybody else, my business partner, Bob Povey. We hope it will be a fantastic success. It's going to be an annual event. We won't do this as a one-off. This will run on. It was just I didn't want Andy to escape the club scene completely. I didn't think he deserved to be able to let loose and get away from what he does. So I figured if we do something in Bournemouth and we invite him, he might say yes. He grabbed it with both hands. He's running with it at a pace that's making me keep up with him. And we are so grateful for it. And I'm really hoping that over the next few weeks, because we've got a 15-week run-in now to this event, as many of you Vocal Booth DJs will be joining us, because you will be the stars of the show. So I'm hoping that we can get as many people around. And that's as much as I'm going to say right now, because there are still a few things that Andy and I and a couple of other people are dealing with. But yes, Put it in your diaries. Those that don't already know, Charles, you already know. Charles, thank you so much for jumping forward. I've spoken to a couple of people that I just thought maybe if I don't talk to them now, they'll be busy or they won't be able to do it. So those that know are in. Good. Those that are coming in, that Andy will be talking to, and everybody, because every Vocal Booth DJ is invited to work on this. I don't want to separate anybody. I'm going to leave it to Andy and...
Yeah, I'll be the villain.
Yeah, you be the...
That's okay. I'll wear that cap well.
But really, I'm so excited about this because the Bournemouth Weekender was one of the best weekenders back in the 80s. It's taken a tumble down the hill. It's not happened properly. So we've got backing from the city, from the town, its shops, its hotels, its venues. We're going to make this really happen and make it really brilliant. And thank you, Andy, for supporting us as well.
You're more than welcome, mate. Well, I can't even remember what the movie was. What is it? And they say, just as I thought I was getting out, you pull me back in. I'm paraphrasing whatever that movie is and whatever that quote is. But yeah, I was quite happy to put my feet up and do Sweet FA. But yeah, big things. People know how Vocal Booth Weekender began, how it organically grew. And we have the exact same energies for that. I don't know where Jason Thornton has just got that image from and has decided to share it inside the chat room, the one that's meant to be a secret. But I'll allow it. It's all good. Thank you, Jason. Right, John, thank you. Look at that. Bang on 3 o'clock.
Perfect, Andy. Everybody, thank you very much indeed. I've got a dash, but I hopefully listen. I want to see you all in Bournemouth. And big up Vocal Booth Radio. We're on it.
Love that. Love that. Let me say, I mean, I haven't welcomed everybody personally, so forgive me, but I did see Lady Bird joining us a little late. So good morning, good afternoon, Siobhan. Good afternoon, Anne-Marie as well, just above her. Love my ladies. Okay, so I did say that I was going commando. I kind of went off script, and I do have a slight script that I want to get back to because I think it's the whole purpose and the whole reason why we're here. Let me take a run through the chat and see if there's anybody with us who isn't in the Zoom call. So we've got Big Lad, aka Steve. I'm sure Michelle is with him. We have the DW, Diana Waite. Actually, Dubs, you did get a mention from John within there. You'll have to forgive me. I skipped past that. I meant to give you love, and then I got sidetracked. Where's it gone? You are John's chat room champion, Dubs. So you'll be happy about that, as well as Lolly giving him full support. Continuing down the list, we have got... Is Jeff in the Zoom? I think I saw Jeff earlier in the Zoom. Did I?
I'm here.
Hello, mate. You're right. Actually, just seeing as asked that, as John said, there's so many DJs that we give praise to, but Jeff, your mixes, your shows, mate, are just so on point, so amazing. Your recent last show, the way it was put together, I was out jogging, and I was just lost in a daydream about. I mean, as you know, I've known you for a long time. I know what a great DJ you are, but I was just really pleased. I don't like to use the word proud a lot. For some reason, Mark Wilkinson has poisoned that word in my mind, so I don't use proud a lot, but I was very proud to have you with us. My sound is buffering badly. Can you all hear me badly, or is it just for Mark?
I can hear you all right.
Yeah, no.
Thank you very much anyway, Andy.
No problem. I think it might be your issue, Mark, if Jeff can hear me. But anyway, Mike is crackling, Emily's saying as well. I wonder why that is.
It's on the stream, not in here.
Okay, let me just disconnect my butt. 1 second, everybody. This is what happens, you see. Bart is currently recording. Yes, I want to. I think I've got so many things going on. Right, I should be back. Is it recording now? It's recording. How does it sound now? Any better? It's going to take about 20-second delay. Better. Thank you. Okay, so I've lost my train of thought. What I was saying, we were talking about Jeff, weren't we? And what an amazing show it was. And there's so many of you guys doing that. Thank you for letting me know. I'll try and keep my eyes. I've got about 6 different streams. And the ridiculous thing is I've got about 4 different computers I could have been using. Right, so let me get back to these notes that I have made. The Vocal Booth Radio Awards 2025. Yes, thank you, Emily. Drop me a WhatsApp if necessary, because I've got that in front of me, and my phone will light up better. So this was a script that I'd put together earlier. It says, welcome along to a very important show to thrust us into 2026, taking time to analyse the phenomenon that was the End of Year Awards. During the show, I'll be talking to DJs and inviting anyone in the chat to participate should they wish. And then I say, if you expected to hear music, you can do one. So that was what I was saying. A community reflection informed by independent analysis. The awards were created as a way for us to pause, take a look and acknowledge what we've all built together over the last 12 months. I was saying to all of the DJs, I'm not a big fan of reading from scripts, but if I hadn't have put all of this down, I wouldn't have forgotten. I would have forgotten most of it, and I almost did an hour in. So the awards are not meant to give anybody a judgment of value to the station. It isn't a league table, and it is a reflection of listener experience which has been generously offered and in good faith by the wonderful boys and girls who support the station, and that is also the DJs as well. This is not meant to inflate egos or crown heroes, and we are completely removed from any of my own personal biases because I have put all of the data through different AI programs to come up with a balanced understanding of the patterns and the contributions across the station. Right, so I'm just taking a quick look and making sure that everything is okay inside the chat. It's still all right. The Zoom is still recording and everyone can still hear me. Right, so what emerged above everything else, and without a doubt, was not dominance but balance. The voting did start slowly, but then it picked up towards the cut-off point, and none of the votes were cast lightly. The heading says what the awards reveal about the community. In some categories, people chose not to vote rather than to guess, and that tells us that this is a considered community, one that values experience over assumption. Okay, it's also worth, I've put a note here, it's also worth briefly acknowledging the DJs who didn't take part in the voting. The absence of a vote doesn't mean an absence of care. It simply reflects a quieter presence in the data. I asked for people who haven't participated, how can I mention that without it sounding derogatory? And that was how it came back. The nature of any shared space is the more that you show up, the more you are felt. And again, this is me asking questions and the data coming back and, shining a light on this. The awards reflect those who chose to lean in, listen closely, and contribute their voice during the process. No single DJ dominates every category. Instead, different people show up in different ways. Some through consistency and reliability. They become part of people's weekly routines, as John was just saying. Others through moments of energy, atmosphere, and lift. Most through musical depth and taste, and others through presence, warmth, and support. Community-focused categories carry real weight. Inspiration, chat room presence, listener support, and consistency are not side notes. They are vitally central. It tells us that Vocal Booth Radio, and these aren't my words, this tells us that Vocal Booth Radio is not just a place where music is played, but a place where people feel welcome and connected. Now, when I started, that was all I ever wanted. And, you know, to get that back, like I say, we all know we can feed information into these programs, and we can weight it to get back what we want to hear. When I tell you how critical I was about getting this report back so it's unbiased and, you know, it's based purely on the data, I was blown away by what it told us. So I just want to repeat that. It tells us that Vocal Booth Radio is not just a place where music is played, but it's a place where people feel welcome and connected. Just as importantly, the spread of names matters. Being named once is as meaningful as winning a category. It means someone noticed you, valued what you bring, and chose to say so. That is at the heart of this exercise. Now, Scott and I had a conversation way back at the beginning when I was putting the awards together, and I said, I'm not even sure I want to announce winners. And he said, well, the way it's worded, winners, you know, people need winners. People want to hear winners. And so I asked that question as well, and there was reasons why it was important, and we'll get to that in a little while. Sorry, I just got sidetracked by a little joke. Before we move into the names and categories, I just want to say this. I've sort of gone completely out of my head what I'm going to say, so it feels unnatural reading it. Coming back to what I already said, what you're about to hear isn't opinion and it isn't guesswork. The data has been independently analysed, and what stood out most wasn't dominance or ego, it was balance. I've already said that before. Different people showing up in different ways. That's a healthy community. All right. So I've been speaking for a hell of a long time. Does anybody want to offer me anything to back up any words that you've just heard, or just give me a break for a second? I'm sick of the sound of my own voice. Please, someone. Go on, Andy.
Okay, just before you go ahead and announce the the award winners, etc., just wanted to sort of like mention what a difficult task it was to come up with, you know, the answers basically to those 20 award questions. There was a number that I ended up going back to, and changing. I think there was about 3 or 4 times maybe on one of the questions. So I think it's just I'm sure what I just wanted to say, I'm sure everyone's probably found that it was quite similar, as in a difficult decision, a process to make, purely because there's such good quality. You know, there was 2 or 3 pretty much names I could put down for every single one that came up.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was a conscious decision not to have a first, second, and third, because by the time that we'd have done that, you know, everybody would have been mentioned, quite rightly so, of course. But I did have a few people complain about how difficult it was. But as I say, nothing of note is ever achieved in your comfort zone. So, but thank you for sharing, Tom. Tom, I'll call you Tom. Okay, so what I've got here is a randomized list of everybody that was nominated at some point. I've randomized it so that it isn't A to Z, so you don't get disheartened if you don't hear your name, or you turn off once you do hear your name. Okay, so I just want to repeat, everyone that has been nominated plays a vital part. Everybody on the station plays a vital part, whether nominated or not, really, but the recognition is important. So DJs recognised by the community, and anybody listening in the chat as well. I appreciate you, giving us your ears and listening to this non-stop chat from myself. Feel free to offer up any words. I've got the chat room open in front of me that I can give some feedback. Phil Madison does say, like he said earlier, in their eyes and ears, we are all winners, or you guys are all winners, should I say. So thank you. The randomized list, I'm not sure how my name got in there, because I had asked not to be mentioned a little too late, unfortunately. So this is the list of names who are all recognized. Yours truly, Glitter Mama, DJ Raw, Paul Farris, Angela Colossi, The Brothers C, Chris Sims, Bardo, Emily Vassell, Mark Goddard, DJ Tips, Richie Haynes, Ian Leggett, Aid Wilcox, Beachy, Jimmy Who, Clinton Oliver, Soul Mechanics, DJ Moses, Mark Cooper, Chris Alexander, Dinga Gabba, A Deeper Groove, Delmar Brown, Bretsky, Jane Negron, Love Boogie Crew, Scott Cornwell, Tommy Musto, Graham G, Pingo and Bobby, Adrian Benedek, Chris Walton, DML, Maurizio, The Country Beat Collective, Jason Thornton, Get Comfy, R House, Andy Tomlinson, Steve Williams, Pugwash, Fitzroy, Julian DJ K, John Rogers, Andy Johnson, DJ Ladybird, Dave Ferguson, Sean Quinn, John Kuma, Blackwax, Chris Flint, Body People, and Jeff Dart. So I added a note for DJs not nominated. Not appearing in this list is not a judgment on your value or contribution. The voting reflects listener experience at a specific moment in time, show times, audience overlap, how niche your sound is, and how visible you are, and your contribution all plays a role. The fact that every DJ takes time to provide a show month in, month out means they are an important piece in the fabric of the station. And I like to think I hit home with that point earlier on. It isn't just a 2-hour show. For the people who do monthly shows, I know you put a lot more time into it than the 2 hours. And the people who do the weekly show, it's so much more than that as well. Effort to reward. One of the clearer patterns in the awards data was this. DJs who are seen to show up regularly in the wider community, not just for their own shows, but at other times of the month, tend to be mentioned more across different categories. That's not about self-promotion, and it's not a requirement or an expectation. How a DJ is involved as part of the community is simply reflected in what the data shows. Now that's analysed from listener stats at different times of the day when people have their shows, from the IP addresses in the chat room. All of this data is all analysed and put through. When people see you as a DJ regularly in the chat, supporting others and contributing to the room, your presence becomes familiar. Familiarity builds connection. Connection is what people vote from. And this is where we recognise something just as important. Vocal Booth Radio only works because listeners show up too. And this was just me writing it down. It feels unnatural reading that out. I've kept the DJs in this list, but the focus is on the wider community who offer support and presence, because without them, Vocal Booth Radio doesn't exist. And there's a long list here that I want to read out. Some of these will be friends of yours. Some of them will be friends of ours, as they say in Miami. Right, so community members recognised: Aid Wilcox, Anne Morgan, Art Smooth, Ashley Manchester, Bernie T, Steve Blackwax, DML, Drew Schultz, Elena, Ems, Fiona Lisa, Gary Comfort, Ian, Janie Bean, Jason Starr, Jim Hickenbottom, Jim P, Joe, Justin Murphy, Kemet, Kenny L, Lolly, Luke Andrews, Mark, Melly from LA, Mona Girl NYC, Moving Mimi, Phil and Kelly, Pugwash, Randall, Rob Crook, Rob P, Robbo, Sahara 247, Robbo, Yay! Sahara 247, Scott Cornwell, Sky Soul, Steve Rich, Steve Williams, Teo Wink, VB Studio, and Wendy Rogers. Now, I've added this little bit at the end. With over 450 registered chat room users and many regulars not listed there, the category can feel slightly misleading. This was just my thoughts as I was writing it out. That said, it is only fair to acknowledge those who were submitted by name. So you guys have all took the time to mention a lot of those people listed there. And then we start to move into the results. These are the clear outcomes based on the votes submitted. Some were close, some were decisive. All of them reflect real listener experience. They are presented plainly, without embellishment, judgment, or any favoritism on my part. I've chosen not to share the overall voting figures because this was about recognizing contribution, not turning it into a numbers exercise. The outcomes were clear without needing to focus on actual totals. So before we start running through these awards, does anybody want to talk about some of their own choices that they made, or am I going to have to single somebody out? Maybe Lisa, I know you're very shy, but I know you do like talking once you start, and because you make such an effort to join us, yes, Glitter Mama, because you do make such an effort to join us.
I knew you were going to pick me.
Well, you make the effort.
You were gonna pick me. Oh, look, I'm happy to chat. I could chat for hours. I just wanted to say this has been a massive, massive learning curve for me, and I'm absolutely in awe of the talent and the depth of experience, the knowledge. I mean, I'm just a baby that's come into this, and I'm so grateful, Andy, that you've took a chance on me and gave me that chance, took a risk, I should say, and gave me a chance to do something that I actually really, really love. And I kind of have to echo Brother C, because I think we've all had a crazy year, but I've had a lot of just a lot of real terrible personal things that almost prevented me from going on air from time to time. And I pushed through because it is something that I absolutely love to do, and music is my passion as well. Although, like I said, I'm just so in awe of the musical experience out there. And so, yes, I found voting extremely difficult. And also, it made me realize that I haven't given enough time to listening to the variety that there is on the station, because there are just, I mean, we're spoilt for choice here. So, I don't know if I want to talk about my particular choices, but that's
I understand. Well, thank you for sharing, and thank you for pushing on through the trials and tribulations to deliver your show, because genuinely you would think you've been doing this for years.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you, and I am happy to have played a part in what I'm sure is going to be a long and successful career somewhere. You're gonna. This is going to be the start of I don't know if I say big things for you, but it's definitely it's going to be a platform for you.
Every show is a learning experience, like from the mixing to, I guess, the music selection. Like I sweat so much over it, and I'm one of those people that I guess I get too much, and then I have to shuffle it down and down and down. So I do spend a lot of time doing it, but I do love doing that.
Well, let me tell you, you are definitely preaching to the converted here, preaching to the choir, because I'm sure everyone's thinking, you've only been doing this 12 months. Try finding a show every week for the last 20 years. You know what I mean?
I don't know how you do that. Like, that would be my I guess a goal for me would be to be able to do it so efficiently that I could be able to produce a weekly show of quality, because just hats off to everybody who actually does that. Every time I do tune in, I'm just blown away by the music, the personality. Most of all, I have to say, it's this community that has kept it together for me this year. A couple of people reached out to me. From the day I started, I think Pugwash was probably astounded because I did a FaceTime with all my equipment, which I had no idea how to use, and it was just like, I don't know if she's ever even going to get this show on the
all the gear, no idea.
All the gear, no idea. I didn't know which plug goes where. It was a huge learning curve to get that first show out. And like I said, every single show is the same. Anything, and that's what I love about being live, is like anything and everything could go wrong, and it does. Bonnie's been in 2 shows so far, my dog. And but just everybody in the community group on the WhatsApp, just everybody is so helpful and so just absolutely lovely. And I just am so blessed to be part of this family. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, lovely words. And we're happy to have you, and you echo everyone else's sentiments. Thank you very much. I just want to ask, is there anybody who would like to talk, who thinks they need to bounce off soon? Just want to say a few words, or is everyone happy for me to come to them in our own time? I see Mark Osborne there. He's finished ironing now. Mark, can we have a chat?
I finished the ironing. I won't do the ironing. I'm doing the dinner. I'm on dinner duty.
Okay, I did see you with an iron in your hand, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I just put it away. They won't let me near the iron.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year.
Yes. Yeah, I just thought I saw you there. I thought I'd have a quick chat. Tell us about your first year.
Yeah, I think it's been great, and something actually that Glitter Mama just hinted on then was the WhatsApp groups. From my experience over the few months that we've been going on there, really, really good support network. There's so many people there just willing to just give advice, videos, links, or problems shared and all that. And for me, that's been a real kind of bonus, a real kind of strength, I think, that the Vocal Booth family have got, is that support network. Because I've used it a few times, and I hardly ever go in it. I'm not someone who's in it a lot. And then all of a sudden, you've got a little problem with downloading the show, or what was it that Andy said? Did we all read it the same? Did we understand it all? And yeah, being able to go on there, quick post into that WhatsApp group, and honestly, you're getting a reply within 5 or 10 minutes. So thanks to everybody really that's in there and helping everybody out, because sometimes it's just a challenge sometimes to just understand something, little tweaks maybe in how to name the file of the show, and what's that change on downloading, or has anyone experienced this problem, and sharing ideas for best microphones and all this kind of thing. And it's just good to be able to tap into that resource. So I think that's something for me that's really stood out.
Wonderful. It is a great community, and that's why I'm happy to let everyone get on with it in the background. Different levels of knowledge, different levels of expertise, and even those with who I would have thought would have had more knowledge also come up against problems. Sometimes everyone just heard then. You can have the best equipment in the world, but something just immediately can go wrong, and you can have a glitch with. Someone was trying to connect the other day, and they said, well, I'm connected on but you can't hear me. And I said, well, I can actually tell you as I'm saying that, I'm looking and my ticker's not updated. Jesus Christ. Hold on, let me just update this 1 second, just in case anyone wondering what on earth's going on. I just looked over there and saw that someone was saying, well, I am connected on but. I said, listen, you can continue having these backwards and forwards with me. I'm telling you, you're not connected. No, I am. Look, he sent me a screenshot of his computer. I said, look, I can see you are not computed. I have direct access to the server. He said, I'm not arguing. I said, no, I don't mean you're arguing from an aggressive point of view, but I'm telling you, you're not connected. Just restart your computer and jump back on. There's always something with technology that's going to get in the way and cause issues. And then it's having that. Go on.
Sorry, go on, mate. Carry on. Finish.
No, I was just going to say it's having the confidence and the. If those, if you don't listen, you've got to feel, and it's you've got to get that knot in your stomach when you know you've made something wrong, that you won't let that happen again next time. And we all have to go through that. It happens to me all the time. I've spent 4 hours this morning pulling my hair out over nonsense that will never happen again. But that's why. So thank you for your kind words about the WhatsApp group. I must give a nod in the direction of Jimmy. I think it was Jimmy who had the idea to set up the WhatsApp group at the very beginning. I mean, he must have been, because he was the guy who set it all up. I have no idea who's more vocal in there, who's more helpful, but I know that Scott and Emily are my gatekeepers, as it were. But we're all learning. So thank you, Mark, for that.
No worries. No, I think we've all come a long way, especially at the beginning when we were getting email upon email from you and how to do things. And it was such, I don't know how you coped, to be honest, for them first couple of months, just trying to pull so many people in one direction. But it was a massive learning curve. But I never really felt like, even though some people were struggling, we was all probably had a moment of struggling with something at some point. But I don't ever think that came across on air, if you know what I mean.
No, definitely not. It's the output. It sounded great, and a few people had conversations in the back. And there are times where you can say things, and myself, particularly with my e-colours training, I got into this thing. Oh, well, I can communicate with everyone now. I understand how to deliver this to people, and I won't get so frustrated. And then I had loads of shit to deal with, and it was just like, boom, that all went out the window. So it's just, there are sometimes you can communicate, and depending on the level of frustration isn't a word that I like to use, because I'd like to think I've risen above frustration, but there were times of frustration, but then I've also taken time out to spend with other people, go through their equipment. You think, well, 12 months down the line this should be nailed, but now, as you say, I think it's I think it's apparent that people are improving all the time, and it's the start of great things. Steve is saying he's got a bounce. Do you want to say any words, Steve, before you shoot off, or has he gone already?
No, I'm still here.
Hello, brother.
Hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just echo what everyone else says. What a fantastic community that's been created. I can't believe it's a year already. Yes, it's had its challenges, and no doubt it will continue to have so. But we're all learning. As you said, Andy, even the most experienced of us have had problems at points. It's just the nature of the beast. But to have those WhatsApp groups and have this community there of people on hand to help out is incredible. And long may it continue.
Wonderful. Thank you, mate. Will you go and enjoy your evening, taking good care of Andrea?
Yeah.
Love you, man.
Take care, man.
Take care.
See you later.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
So if anyone else wants to say anything, then do feel free. But I think we should start going through some of these lists. I think, I was saying about the outcomes are clear without really needing to focus on, what the gap was in between votes and everything. Okay, so we have 20 categories. I'm going to run through these categories, and then we're going to read some of the comments from some of you guys and some of the listeners as well. I did see Phil Madison saying he feels a little down that they didn't, let me move this out of the way, didn't put effort into it, but they had a lot going on. Yep, not a problem, Phil. We appreciate you being here and listening and commenting when you do. And the next time we do these, I know you would be more inclined to lend some words. Hi, Alina. I see you inside the chat. Flyer has got a bounce. I've probably missed him by now. Scrolling down the list, we've got to send birthday greetings for tomorrow to Kirk. Claire is with us inside the chat, as is Beck Spare. Just rolling down the list if there's anyone I haven't said hello to. Schooley's still here. Michelle is with us. I think Steve and Michelle are in Portugal the last time I saw, although they may have moved by now. Right, okay. I'm padding out, aren't I? Let me get to the important, what you want to hear. Best microphone energy. Out of the 20 categories, this is the first category, and we had joint winners. Claire Lawless, representing Girls on Top, and the Brothers C for the Rising Sessions. So congratulations. Rounds of applause there for everybody. I like my Zoom's changed. There's graphics going off all over the place. I love it. The best presenter voice, the winner, Mr. John Coomer of the AGB Soul Stew. I'm sure many people will be in agreement with that. The best technical DJ in the mix, the Brother C on the Rising Sessions. Where is he? I see him there. I see his eyes light up. Oh, bless him. Congratulations, Charles. Congratulations, buddy. Best technical DJ. Best weekly show, John Coomer, AGB Soul Stew, another winner. Kirk sending me birthday greetings, saying thank you for the birthday greetings. Let me just turn those sounds off on there. 1 second. Oh, it's gone. Don't worry about that. Thank you, Kirk. Happy birthday again, bro. Right, where did I get to? Best monthly show. Right, best weekly show was John Coomer, AGB Soul Stew. Andy Johnson needs to drop off. So, Andy, did you want to say anything else? I mean, I know you already gave us some words. So, thank you, buddy. You go and have a great evening. And thank you for everything that you do, mate. Love your show. Love the way that you present the show. I love your presence on the microphone. I just wanted to say that to you. Respect to you. Okay. Best monthly show. The winner, Emily Vassell. Girls on Top. Congratulations, my dear. The best monthly show you wished was weekly. Now we have joint winners here. A Deeper Groove with Heavy Lounging, Black Wax and Revolve, The Body People Show, Claire Lawless, Girls on Top, and Fitzroy, The Soul Survivor. 5 joint winners for best monthly show. Okay. The biggest party starter. Don't forget, these are all winners, clear winners from the categories. Andy Tomlinson, Decades of House. Well done, buddy. The chat room champion, the winner, unanimous winner, is Ashley in Manchester. Well done. Let me just move this out of the way. Chat room champion, community champion. Now, in hindsight, I should have read out what the subcategories, the subheadings were. Community champion, Mr. Scott Cornwell. Congratulations, Scott. Well done. And thank you, my friend. Individual show of the year. Oh, how did that get in there? I'm actually genuinely annoyed. Andy Ward, Vocal Booth Radio Show. Many people who voted early, I left my name in there. And then I saw a lot of people voting for me. I was like, no, I don't want to be voted for. So I took my name out. And I'm disappointed that somebody else couldn't get individual show of the year. But there is no second or third places. The most consistent, another winner for Mr. Scott Cornwell. Yeah, well done, Scott. And the most eclectic. Now, I'm sure many people would think Scott would have won this, but Scott, you didn't get most eclectic. The Brother C, you got the most eclectic. Now, you were probably as surprised as I am, Charles. But the thing is, if enough people think it, that's the way it goes, right? If anybody voted for Charles, if anyone wants to say, yes, I agree with that, then feel free to shout up. Most frequently listened to, Scott Cornwell, The Melting Pot. He's running away. with the what do you call it? The trophy cabinet. The most improved show overall. The winner is Beachy for his deep and soulful mixes. Social media champion winner Emily Vassell, representing Girls on Top. I'm not surprised considering she does it for a job. Well done, my dear. Congratulations and thank you. Most improved mic confidence. Now this surprised me actually. I don't disagree with it, but I wouldn't have said it was an improved mic confidence. I would have said the confidence was there head and shoulders from the beginning. But Delmar Brown, you win that award, my friend. I'm sure so many people are giving Delmar a round of applause because Delmar is a fantastic linchpin for the station. Most inspirational selector, again, running away with it, the Brothers C and the Rising Sessions. I think that might be something to do with the 20 years service. So fair play, Charles. Congratulations. I'm glad to see you honoured and recognised, my friend. The outstanding listener support goes to the lovely Lolly. Unanimous decision. Yeah, getting a big round of applause there. Shazam's nemesis, Mr. Scott Cornwell. I think that goes without saying. Scott's thinking, yeah, I would have been annoyed if I didn't get that one. And then most personifies the vocal booth vibe. The winner is Emily Vassell, Girls on Top. I think she oozes confidence and supportive nature, beautiful music and a beautiful soul. So congratulations, Emily. That I'm sure that means a lot to you because you do put a lot in. Those are all of the 20 categories. As I say, I will be sharing a sort of like a synopsis, is that the word, of the results, so you can see where you featured in all of these. A lot of people did get a lot of votes, but it was very, very well spread. And I want to run through some of these comments now. Kirk says, go on, wifey. There you go. You're going to cook a dinner tonight now, Kirk. I think she deserves it, right? Well done, everyone. Well deserved. Everyone is saying inside the chat room. So voter comments. Let's go to the birthday boy, shall we? Kirk Vassell says, a big thank you to Andy Ward for the serious graft putting this whole radio station together. Now, I just want to say to anyone that did leave comments, some of them I have omitted words that you'd left for me. I have read them all. Very grateful of your comments. I didn't think they needed to be shared publicly, but I did read them all. So thank you. Let me go through a lot of these other words as well. I see Emily's hallelujah gif inside the chat room. Gotta love that. Let me just go back and see if there's anyone else that joins us that I haven't said hello to. Scrolling down. I think I've said hi to everyone. Mrs. C joins us. Are you proud of hubby? Didn't he do well? Right. Hi to Val as well. Thank you for being here. Right. So Randy, as we said on the Zoom towards the beginning of the year, Randy's someone I got to meet and chat to for the first time. Honoured that he spent his hard-earned money to come and join us in Spain in September. It was a pleasure to spend time with him, albeit way too short. And Randy says he feels absolutely blessed to be a part of the Vocal Booth Radio family. He gets a lot more love overseas than in the States, and that's okay. I have other DJs say the same thing. It's so amazing to live in a time to see how the internet, when used for good, can bring people together that otherwise we wouldn't know even exist. Vinyl to digital and everything in between, it truly has been a wild ride. What an amazing community Vocal Booth Radio is. Randy, do you want to add to that, my friend?
There's not much more to add, probably. All I could say is I was probably in a music funk before I saw your invitation for people to join the station or possibly join. I didn't know if I was going to be accepted or how that all went. But a year later, I can't believe it's been a great year. It's been very quick to get a chance to meet everyone, especially the people I met in person. I've never been overseas before. It was great to get over there and meet some of you, Scott, Emily, Anne, Ralph, Prue, just a bunch of people. David, it was a great opportunity, and I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad I'm here, and it gets me through my week, looking forward to every show, not knowing really how it's going to turn out or who's going to tune in, or it's just I'm glad to be here. That's
amazing, because you're also someone at the beginning of the year, had external factors that gave you an escape when you were doing your radio show every week, right? And to do a weekly show it is a tough ask.
Yeah, some of you know, some of you don't. My wife got ill at the end of January. She's doing well now. She's back to work. She's doing very well. So yeah, but it gave me something to look forward to during that time and throughout the whole year. Like I said, it kind of gave me structure for my week, to give me something to go to.
Well, you are a pivotal part of what we're trying to do with attracting more people stateside for that time of the day, and you are, truly appreciated. And it is, I'm not, ashamed to say, or that isn't even what I wanted to say. It is more difficult than I anticipated, getting more people listening stateside, and you're aware of that as well. But you push on, and more people are staying later and later to hear you as well. But this is still the beginning, and we will look back in 12 months' time, and the rise will be exponential. I'm sure of it.
I think I said it before. I would never try to do this on my own, like just jump on Twitch and start playing. You have 50,000 other Twitch shows going on and DJs, but to be part of this community and family of all these people that are very supportive and encouraging, it's something I'm very glad I did and continue to do.
Beautiful, and long may it continue. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
I saw John Rogers was with us earlier. I know he had to jump off. His wife Wendy says, "I absolutely love Vocal Booth Radio. Bless her. I was disappointed not to be able to vote for you, Andy, but thank you to you and Michelle for your inspiration and dedication." I always have a joke with Michelle. I say, "Why are people mentioning you? You don't do anything." And she always gives me a dig. Absolutely love Vocal Booth Radio, but always listening. So I collated where people have voted a couple of times. Their comments were sort of duplicated, so forgive me if I end up reading the same thing twice. I'm just reading it verbatim. So Angela Colossi, I did see Angela with us earlier. I think she's jumped off now. Angela says, all the DJs have been amazing this year, and they definitely do it for the passion, which shows, so all are winners. Angela Colossi, one of our girls on top. Thank you, Angela. Emily Vassell, one of our winners. I've lost count of how many categories she won. Unmute yourself, Ems. Emily says, there are so many worthy DJs that I personally haven't recognised in my selections, but know this, you all have amazing talents, quirks, and make this station what it is. Continue to try new things, take risks, enjoy the moment, and let the music do the talking. Thank you all for letting me be me and allowing me to bloom into who I am meant to be. 2026 is going to be mega for us all. An amazing community to be a part of. Do you want to add to that, my dear, without getting emotional?
I can't even remember writing that. But I mean every word of what I said. I don't know whether I can say anything without getting upset. Literally, this year has just been such a whirlwind, I think, for a lot of us in a lot of ways. And it doesn't matter what any of us have gone through, the the thing that has brought us together is music and community. And I cannot tell you how much it has meant to me, meant to Scott, meant to Andy, and to see you all just do your thing. You all inspire me so, so much more than you will ever, ever understand. And I appreciate that you tolerate all of my nonsense and everything else that goes on in between. But I am there for the community, for the music, and I really feel like this is my home for the first time. In 45 years, I feel at home with myself and with people around me. I feel safe. It doesn't matter what goes on around me, and a lot has gone on around me this last year. I just want to thank you all. And Andy, you're amazing. Scott, you're amazing. And this is just the beginning. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And I don't think any of us really understand the next 5 years. This is going to really take off, in my opinion. So, yeah, love you all. And thank you all so much for just being yourselves. Just be yourself. Be yourself. Express yourself in music. And just be who you are. It speaks for itself.
Beautiful, beautiful words. Thank you so much. A round of applause for Emily. Everyone's getting rapturous applause, and Kirk throws up the love eyes inside the chat room. You're definitely getting your dinner cooked for you tonight, I'll tell you. Or a takeaway, if nothing else. Is that my speakers are on? Right. Thank you, Emily. Beautiful words. Steve Williams, taking your comments. Being new to the VB crew, every moment on in the mix or meeting the crew and wider fam has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope it continues for a long time. Steve, we've spoken on these Zooms before, but I'm not sure if we've had the opportunity to speak to the public, because you do present the show and you enjoy presenting the show, but you like to let your music do the talking. But tell us a little bit more about your comments and what it means to you.
Well, to be introduced to it all at the beginning, well, toward the end of last year, it was all quite new, didn't know what I was coming into, and then to be sort of play my show as I wanted to play from the outset, which was originally the monthly show, to be appreciated very, very quickly, and then getting all the support throughout the weeks has just been amazing. And then the build up of that, getting to know people, going to the gathering was just a fantastic day. So when it's mentioned that the Bournemouth one is going ahead, that feels great as well, because there'll be a lot of people there. So it'd be good to hopefully get down there and meet everybody again. But yeah, just from the support from the DJs, support from outside, in the chat room, just generally has just been, it just makes you feel really good, really, week in, week out. When sometimes, putting a show together, going from the monthly show to a weekly show quite quickly, you've got to put a lot of effort in. And when you think, am I going to do a good show? Have I put a good show together? And then get the support back and the feedback in the chat when you afterwards, it feels fantastic. It really does. Every show I come into some of the shows thinking, gotta get on with this. Is it going to be okay? I finish every show on an absolute high. Every single show on an absolute high. It's brilliant. I love it. And you can't say that about many Mondays, really. Whatever Monday it is, wet, sunny, dark as it is, starting to get dark now. Every single Monday by 8 o'clock at night, I'm buzzing.
Congratulations and thank you. I mean, doing a weekly show, I literally come into my room, I grab an armful of records and I just play tunes. If you've got a producer show, it's a big ask. It is a big task, and I don't need to tell everyone here how big a task it actually is. So respect, and it is great to have you along, mate. It's been a pleasure to meet you, and as I've said to you on many occasions, as everybody knows, I was more than happy to say from the very beginning, look, I get up ridiculously early and I go to bed ridiculously early, so don't expect to see me late at night, but I'll always make an effort to listen to what you're doing. I may not be that visible, but I hear everything that's going on, so fair play to you, brother. Fair
Thank
play.
you, appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Not
Andy,
a
for
problem at
everything
all.
you've done.
Ben Pedro jumped off. Angela was listening. We were just giving Angela's comments earlier. Angela, I'll just repeat what you'd said. You've been amazing. All the DJs have been amazing this year and definitely do it for their passion, which shows. So all are winners. Thank you for taking the time to send that in. And again,
Thanks,
thank you
Andy.
no problem. Do you want to add anything, or is it inconvenient for you to talk?
I'm walking up a hill with a gradient of Mount Everest.
Okay,
So,
well, you save your breath.
Yeah, no, I've just, you know, I think everyone knows what an amazing year it's been for me. And it's as much the community as it is learning new skills. So, bigger things in 2026.
Indeed. Onwards
Well
and
done,
upwards.
everyone.
Onwards and upwards, up that hill.
Yeah, oh dear, yeah. I'm
You
nearly
carry
there.
on. Carry on, Kate Bush. Talking of Kate Bush, we'll go to Jason Thornton's comments now. Jason, I'll have a word with you in a second. Jason says, Claire Lawler, hold on, let me just move this out of the way. Oh, there's a lovely photo of Angela, Lolly and Emily in the chat. So Jason says, Claire Lawless is that good as a presenter. She would be perfect for a weekly show. I love the way how people just throw names out there and say, yeah, you can do a weekly show. Especially you, Jason. You know how difficult it is, right? Anne-Marie saying she can hear crackling now. Is it starting to break up on the stream? Everybody? If so, I can just reboot.
I can
again
hear you
if need be.
clearly.
Yeah, but you might be listening on the... It's crackling now. Right, okay. 1 second, everyone live on stream. I'm going to reboot now. Don't know why it is. Right, I'll be back and I need to update the ticket again. No, I don't want to do that. Why can't the person who runs this station make it easier? Right. Back live now. Where was I? I was talking to you, wasn't I, Jason? That should be better now. Thank you for letting me know, Anne. Where's my notes? Jason Thornton was saying... Claire Lawless is that good as a presenter. She would be perfect for a weekly show. Her energy and presence draws you in and takes you on the 2 hours journey like you have known her for years. And to top that, her music selection is straight out of the top drawer. What lovely words. A nice surprise for you, Jason, to discover Claire.
Oh, absolutely. She is absolutely wonderful. But, you know, I've messaged her directly just about this, and I get she's extremely busy with children as well, but it really would be good. And she was definitely my biggest surprise, without a doubt. But her voice is brilliant.
Wonderful. Well, it was great to get interest from Claire, as some people will know, some people may not know. I used to work on the FM here in Spain with Claire 20 years ago, just not long after I'd moved, and so I used to take over her show, and it was, you know, just a mainstream radio show, but her presenting was always spot on. So yeah, definitely a welcome addition. And Val says fab. The big lad throws up some spinning hearts inside the chat room, and more pictures from the reunion are bouncing up. So thank you for that. And so Jason, joining us yourself this year, you've been very very vocal in your love for Vocal Booth Radio, excuse the pun, and you know, eventually joining us. I think it was the end of the year, July. I think you eventually joined. Was it June or July?
No, me and Scott done a joint show, didn't we, back in July, and then I followed on in August. So, you know, then before that it was just the mini mixes for yourself with the early morning mellow, which kind of really was where it all escalated from. But, you know, just a keen, avid listener, and huge surprise for me, because obviously I knew you from Life Remix, E-Colours with Mark Wilkinson, and, you know, I've done a little track earlier on, and it was just the timing of when that track came out, and obviously Mark Cooper played it on his social, and then the following week the station launched, and I was just hooked from just day one, completely hooked. So, it's been a massive surprise.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for all of your support, because you have, along with other people, of course, but you have been instrumental in opening us up to a wider audience, and you've got some big plans moving forward as well. So, congratulations and thanks to yourself for that.
Can I just add as well, Andy? Just because obviously me and Scott become very good friends, and we've supported each other for this whole year. He's been absolutely wonderful with everything he's done. But I think E-Colours needs to be sort of mentioned a bit more, just to regards to how we all deal with each other. Because, me, when we done our show together, I'm a green, massive green, Scott's a red, and really because we knew our E-Colours, we really should have clashed, but because we understood each other's strengths and weaknesses going into that, it just really fitted in brilliantly. And I just think generally for you personally, when you are dealing with all the different character types, if you've got an understanding of that person's strength and that limitations that person might have, it makes it easier to be able to work together. And I just think for what you're trying to do with 100 DJs, whatever it is, it would benefit everybody. I really believe that.
Well, thank you for saying that. I actually took my foot off the gas with E-Colours last year. I just emailed about that this morning, and I did invite all of the DJs to come and find out a little bit more about it. And I will be nudging them a little bit more this year going forward. But there's only, someone said earlier, I think John Coomer said earlier, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. But the differences of understanding different personalities and the possible limitations that we have when understanding how, not necessarily from your collective point of view, from my point of view, understanding how to stop, pause. I mean, I've got a play and pause tattoo on my hand. That's how important it is to me. I have to press pause many occasions when I'm replying to people to think about how it's going to be received. It doesn't always land well, but it's the starting point. Let's not go off on a tangent, but thank you for bringing that up, Jason. I really do appreciate you mentioning that. And when I do send something out to the DJs again in the future, maybe they'll think about it. Right, let me continue down these lists. I mean, how long we got left? I've been rabbiting, haven't I? Have I ever been on air for 2 hours? Surely not. What time is it? 4 o'clock. I have 2 hours. Jesus. Where did I get to? David Miller Lawson, talking about rabbiting. Let's have a good old chinwag, Dave. David's comments are, continue evolving, trust the process. I loved every minute of listening to all the wonderful DJs. Thank you, Andy. David, another amazing supporter of what we're doing. Tell us what Vocal Booth has meant to you this year.
Can you hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's all right. I've got you on my laptop, but I've got a Sonos speaker. It's just been amazing. I mean, I've been a big fan and advocate of Vocal Booth, Weekender and yourself from those heydays back in sort of like 2011. So to get the opportunity to DJ at the Weekenders and then do a weekly show has been absolutely amazing. Especially because it's come at a time when I stopped working, sort of like did a full 360 transition from having a purpose, getting up, going to work, family life, and that, to actually doing something completely different week in, week out. I mean, at the moment, I'm in a house in Churchtown in Southport, a place we all love very dearly. And I've got a lovely dog called Millie, conveniently. If people know my surname, it's David Miller Lawson. So I've got a lovely dog called Millie that's keeping my attention. I've got a log burning fire behind me. And this is my life at the moment, but I've got all the equipment set up ready for Sunday. And as you said in one of your comments, I don't know whether it was in the chat room, Don S. David, where is David this week? You should have actually had an award for the person who did the show from the most different places. I think I would have won that hands down, wouldn't I?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah. But no, I've enjoyed it tremendously, and it's interesting because sometimes I'm very big mates with Steve Williams, and we chat about how we put our shows together, and Steve does it one way and I do it slightly differently. But I've got a laptop which hasn't got all my music on because I fell foul of old laptops not transferring all the data over. So I've had to acquire some of my music, and I'm sure you know yourself, sometimes you think, I'm sure I've got that track, where is it? And you have to go and get it again. Anyway, I put a playlist together I've got to say a Happy Smiles playlist of 1,000 records. And then I'll have like a monthly playlist. And each week I'm thinking, what am I going to start off with? What? But do you know, the more you do it each week, it's just like, do you know what? I'm confident those tunes are all Happy Smiles tunes. They're gonna work. And I think we've said it in the chat room as well. The audience that we have at Vocal Booth Radio is just amazing. You know, you can play any type of music and no one will say anything like, what a dickhead that DJ is. Why have they played that? And I possibly pushed that.
Scott might every now and again.
Yeah, but I think I've pushed it to the limits this year, last year even, in the sense that, you know, I've really enjoyed going back to my roots, but also I don't know everything. I love discovering, you know, an obscure track by an artist that I really love. And as your tagline is, inspired to be inspired, I think most of the DJs, if not everyone, always plays a track that I'm like wanting to know the name of, or I have to Shazam. So yeah, Vocal Booth is just the radio has just been amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you for those words, Dave. And Emily says, I feel like I'm wrapped up in my house coat listening to David Miller-Lawson. Your voice is like a warm hug and a mug of hot chocolate.
Thank you. I actually, if I can say this live on air. So, you know, we had a brief conversation about doing my show takeovers. So I did a few over the year. So my daughter did one, and I did one with Elise from Wellsafe. And then I did one with Jan and Paul in Valencia, and I really enjoyed them. And some people, though, the music, it's not necessarily what I want to play on a Sunday afternoon. So I have actually recorded 2 really good shows, and I was listening back to one of them today, and it's with Fiona and Denise, who you know very well. And if you remember the reunions in Birmingham, our Joe, who's got the blue hair at the front. Mm-hmm. So Joe and Denise used to always come to the reunions, but never the Weekender. So we actually started off the show takeover with Fiona and Denise, and then Joe joined us live from Dubai. And I've managed to piece it together and up the volume, and it's an absolutely brilliant recording. So I'll have to message you privately and see if I can get that stamped.
We'll get it aired. No problem, mate. No problem at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm just scrolling down, making sure that everything is working fine. I think it is. Anne, are you with us? Anne Marie, do you want to share a few words? Because I know at the weekend you were otherwise engaged, and you moved hell and high water to do your show live. And we're all so happy that you did. How was your first year compared to previous on-air escapades?
Can you hear me?
I hear you, and I love the t-shirt as well. I've only just noticed it.
It's one of ours.
Beautiful.
I don't have much of a voice because I was out last night. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you haven't come here looking for sympathy.
No. I'm just saying my voice is a bit croaky. Basically, we've evolved in our first year. As mentioned previously, a lot of people who had problems had the commitment to work through. Even I had problems. I had problems with the migration from Pressure onto the Vocal Boost stream, but our commitment to doing this, you know, made us all work through that, which I think was fantastic, because it can be quite difficult for, you know, new DJs coming on board and the effort that they put in. I must mention Angela. I think she has made an amazing progress in what she does. She shows confidence and she shows commitment. So, I mean, I've been DJing for quite a while. And just to see other people showing that commitment to playing the music and sharing the vibe is wonderful. All I can say is, well done, everybody. I
Beautiful.
mean, it's a
I
fantastic
know Angela
place
will
to be.
really appreciate that recognition from you.
Yeah, and like you say,
thank you.
I was at my mother's over Christmas, and I literally got in half an hour before my show on Sunday, as mentioned. So that's the commitment we put in. So onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards. Thank you, Anne. I am going to continue running through these comments that everyone shared, and again, if anyone wants to say anything, if time is drawing on and people want to bounce, then feel free. Yes, Mark, I see you with your hand up, Mr. Goddard.
Yeah, I've got to drop off about 4:30, Andy. So if it's appropriate now, just to say a few words with you, is that okay?
Please do, mate. I enjoyed John's beautiful words about yourself and the way you put the show together. I have to remain unbiased. However, you would have ranked very highly in my votes. I'm really happy with what you do. You definitely one of the highlights of my week. I would not miss a show from yourself. I love the atmosphere that you just deliver on the microphone alongside the music. Everything about your show is, it's as close to perfect as you can get, really. So I'd tip my cap to you. And let me just read back your comments here. You say the camaraderie is unique. Keep on supporting one another along the journey. So what did you want to share this afternoon?
The words you used earlier, welcome and connected, I think that just sums it all up for the station for the year. You should find somewhere on your body to get that tattooed, probably across your back. But yeah, for me, I didn't know any of you really. I knew Chris Alexander, I think, before I joined the station. I had some contact with yourself through other things, but didn't really know whether I would fit in or whether it would work. I'm overwhelmed by the fact that people have taken the time to listen and shared your kind words. Thank you for that. I've still consciously got people in the shows I need to listen to. I'm mindful that, as you said, I keep a certain routine in the day. I work in the week. I listen when I'm driving or when I'm working. But I've still got shows and presenters that I need to listen to, and I just started really to tap into using the podcast options for that. So I was driving back from my job this week and listened to Del Mar's show. Normally it's on a time where I wouldn't be listening. But yeah, you've created something to be proud of, and everybody is a part of that in that comment. As far as the voting for me, it was difficult to do, but in a way it wasn't difficult. So I didn't know anyone, so there was no kind of bias. It was just the people I'd found time to listen to through the year. I'm quite happy to name a few. I'm not going to go into the categories. It's a bit like that game. That game you used to have when you were a kid with when you had the tray and you put things on and cover them with a tea towel. Let's just think it's like that. So, John, Scott, Soul Dynamic, Black Wax, A. Wilcox, Claire, DML, Angela, I think DJ Tips and Lolly. You can guess which one Lolly was in. But yeah, that was kind of made up a lot of my voting from memory. Although I did submit it 3 times because of my age. I went ahead, then I named you for some strange reason, then I had to do it for a 3rd time. But I think that's kind of where I landed. But yeah, but thank you. I am conscious the way that I present isn't everybody's cup of tea. As John kindly put it earlier, some of it's got nothing to do with music, but I think for that time of the day on a Sunday, it's just a bit of nonsense between. It works. I think it sits nicely after John, who does a great show, and ahead of David as well. So apologies for David if I burn any listeners between those 2 hours that would have listened. But yeah, but thank you. You've created something one to be proud of, and something that's going to build and build. So yeah.
Well, thank you for saying. Well, if I am allowed to say, I don't suffer fools gladly, and I'm not one to entertain cheese at all. So I'm not sure where you feel you fall down on the side of what, an acquired taste for some people, because for me it's perfect. You're not corny, you're not cheesy, you don't talk nonsense. It's just good fun, that I've heard other DJs on other stations that make me cringe, the proper smashy nicey DJs kind of thing, and you're not like that at all. When you're talking about non-music related stuff, it literally stops you in your tracks, and you have to ponder a question that you've asked, and then you go off on a tangent, and there's conversation. It's like, I'm trying to do something here, can you stop making me, I'm in the middle of a run, I don't really want to have to ask what my favourite sauce is on my bacon sandwich or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do welcome everybody. I didn't know Jason as example, or I didn't know DML. So everybody, I feel part of a team. So thank you once again.
Fair play, mate, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. Inside the chat room, I can see Stu Partridge. He says he's listening in while cooking a Sunday roast on a Thursday. I just had to double check what the day was then. Justin Bond, good afternoon, buddy. Thank you for your words. And Val is also saying that the key is to keep supporting each other. I am going to continue running through these comments. Any DJs who are still with us who want to comment, then please do feel free to unmute yourself and shout up if you want to. Yes, Delmar. Actually, I did see you comment, I think. Let me scroll. Did I see a comment from Dalmar on here to read out?
I mentioned that Ems was a winner. I mentioned Ems being a winner.
I can't
If I'm correct.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, but let me just have a look on Delmar Brand going all the way to the end. Yeah, to the DJ selected, stay consistent, provide energy and quality, and shout out those who took the time to listen to the chat room. So maybe if you
yeah.
Maybe if you submitted a couple, that was the last one over then. So what did you want to share with us?
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, I wanted to share some of my votes that I voted for people. And I will say one of the categories we was talking about, which was that program that caught the attention, that was like, oh wow, and I say when it was Andy Tomlinson. He had the show, which was the first time he had 30 people in the chat. And it's very early for me to tune in on a Friday. At that time, it was around 3:00 in the morning, New York time. And it was crazy, but I just happened to be in the chat that day. And I couldn't believe it. And I seen the enthusiasm in the chat that day. Everybody was having such a great time as far as the listening experience. Andy was playing. I mean, that day, and it's not to say he wasn't, but that was a day I'll never forget. And he even mentioned it on the chat. And my reaction was like, look at this chat. It was like, over 30 people in the chat. And that's very interesting. And, I have to give him a great applause for that, because he's definitely caught the attention of many folks on Vocal Booth Radio. And also I got to shout out to Brother C. Brother C, another early bird for me, but it's a great thing because he brings that energy to the forefront. I love it. Everybody on Mickey C, people on Sundays, Sahara. It's crazy. DML, everybody's on, but Mark Goddard, he definitely was the voice. If you notice what I mentioned his voice as the guy. He's radio. He's pure radio. This is what radio is all about. When you speak on the mic, it's, like back in the days when you're listening to, let's say, the news reports, or, ESPN or certain stations. It's what radio is all about. I just wanted to give y'all guys an applause for everything that y'all guys doing. It. I mean, Vocal Boo Radio is definitely happening. If y'all guys didn't know.
Beautiful. That's that will mean a lot coming from you, because I know a lot of people put a lot of weight on your own voice and your own presenting. So that'll go down well. And thank you. I see all of your votes. And you gave Mimi a shout out, been around for a long time as well as outstanding support. Movie Mimi.
Oh yeah, you know, we all know each other from the other station, and the fact that, I mean, she's definitely been in the game a long time as far as the support for the last 17 plus years, as far as listening to me not only on regular radio but listening to me all around, supporting me to all the gigs that I played on the outside. But I like to give credit where credit is due, and everybody is definitely doing a great job on this station and moving forward.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, Emily says, we appreciate you, Dalmar. John Coombe is still listening whilst out and about mobile, and he says thank you for supporting the AGB Soul Show. And I'll say thank you as well, Dalmar, for dropping my name in there when it was possible to. I appreciate you, brother, and I appreciate your kind words about being happy to be part of this. Let me continue to run through some of these comments. So Stumpy says, a great team of musical people getting their vibes across to the world. Neil Pinnock, great to be part of the team. A fantastic one throughout the year. Now we have Mona Girl. She says, I am addicted to Vocal Booth Radio and every single thing it represents. Love you, Andy and Michelle, for the blessings you are in my life and around the world. Spreading house music, soulful music, and the music of life through VBR's Beyond Gifted DJs. I am so proud to be a member of the Vocal Booth Radio family. That's really nice. Thank you, Mona. Actually, that reminds me, everybody that voted in the awards, I have had some key rings manufactured. I'm having them sent to me at the moment. I'll be getting them sent out to you in the coming weeks, just as a small little gift to say thank you for taking the time, because you didn't need to, but you did. So, we like to give back wherever possible. Continuing down the list, Mark Osborne, we spoke earlier, in between having the iron in his hands and cooking the dinner. He says, I think Emily has played a very important part to VBR this year, ever present in the chat room and the WhatsApp support network and social media. I would say she is the face of VBR. I also want to give appreciation to Randy Locrotondo, who always logged on early during my show, right up until his own. We started a great friendship and have really enjoyed each other's company in the chat room with plenty of banter and appreciation of the music. So that's nice to read, and I will be sharing some of these. Saying good afternoon to Sophia joining us. Good morning, my dear. Tanya Neves, aka Tanya Lay. Tanya says, I wish I could listen more to Vocal Booth Radio, but when I do, no matter who's on, it is always quality. Everyone involved has done a sterling job. I wish nothing but success, love and good vibes for everyone for the new year, and sends love to both myself and Michelle. John Rogers says, I would like to just thank Andy for the opportunity to play, and to all the DJs who have inspired and put their time into Vocal Booth Radio. Here's to bringing it in 2026. John has been very vocal in supporting VBR when he's able to, and he's also introduced us to a great new DJ as well, Denbo. I definitely recommend you check out that show. If not, Denbo is also really good on the microphone. Talking about being good on the microphone, as I lift my head up, I see Mr. Dayton here on the call. The last time we managed to get Paul Dayton join us on a Zoom, he was in a hospital. I think his son had broke his leg. Was that right, Paul?
Yeah, he's a BMX racer, and he qualifies for the World Championships every year. So, and all the nationals. So most of my weekends are taken up by traveling up and down up the length and breadth of the country to races, and then every year during the summer holidays, because he gets in the top 16, we ended up going to like America. This year it was Copenhagen. So yeah, I'm a full-time BMX dad. So and that's my weekend. So when you offered me a Wednesday show, I was like, brilliant, that's perfect. And then it fell on Wednesday, ended up staff meeting day for my work. So it actually clashed with the timings. So that's why I ended up having to sort of pre-record my show. So yeah, but it's been brilliant.
You've been enjoying a variety of sharing, shows specifically for your own productions, inviting other people to do the shows with you. You present the show very well, very confidently on the microphone, and the enjoyment does come across.
Well, I as you, I don't know if you, I'm sure you're aware. I used to sort of travel the world DJing, and then when my son was born 12 years ago, I went all paternal and retired, and sort of decided that I wasn't going to sort of spend my life traveling all around the world DJing and living a sort of rock and roll lifestyle. I went from rock and roll to Rockabye Baby in the space of a few, one sort of miracle birth. And now he's 12. I sort of, when I saw the opportunity to start DJing again on radio, I was so excited, and I wanted to have guest DJs on as well, because I know a few of my friends or sort of older DJs my age. As soon as I mentioned it to them, and because they're into the music I'm into, I wanted to have a format where it was me play for an hour and then have a guest DJ on for an hour. And I've got like a rotation now of regular DJs: Soul Glow, Mido Miles, Daz Evans. They love it. Mm-hmm. And I'm, it's like, have you got a guest mix ready for me? And they're straight away, yeah, I'll have it ready for you. And it's actually brought us together. I know, I mean, don't get me wrong, the vocal booth communities, the chat and the banter and listening to the shows has been amazing. But as a personal thing, just having my 3 local guest DJs, we've actually started gigging again. They've invited me to gigs, and I've been playing out.
Brilliant.
Just amazing, and buying. I've started buying tunes again, because I think my first 3 shows, I didn't play anyone else's music. I had 6 hours of my own stuff, and then and then I started buying music again, which was I love buying music, and I've been obviously listening to other people's shows and digging around and shazamming.
Yeah, that's the danger when you go down that rabbit hole. Yeah. I mean, a few people have been cursing vocal booth DJs because of their Bandcamp. Their Bandcamp cart is a bit of takes a hit every week.
Yeah, but
amazing.
No, it's been amazing, and I love the chat. I love what you've done. I love all the other DJs. I listen a lot on Alexa on my when I'm driving. I've got
yeah. I think I'd like to think more people can listen on the move, because the quality of the station when you're out and about in the car, it sounds so amazing. It really does. Wow, I didn't realise the chat room was scrolling along like that. Forgive me, sorry, Paul. I didn't realise it's all working. People have put there. Nice one. Well, thank you for being part of the station, and long shall we continue.
I was just gutted about the weekender thing. I think my lad was racing that weekend, and when you mentioned the first bank holiday in May, sorry, my voice is a bit croaky today. When you mentioned about this thing in Bournemouth, I thought, brilliant, because there's a BMX track in Bournemouth. I wonder if it falls on one of his nationals in Bournemouth. but we're in Glasgow that weekend.
Ah, well.
So I'm like, no.
Well, these things happen. These things happen. There'll be other times. We'll have to have a BMX competition for you.
Well, when he's 16, I can send him on the train on his own, can't I? So
there you go. Pack him away.
But anyway,
Respect, buddy. No problem at all. I'm going to carry on running through some of these names. Now, Tim Moore is a firm supporter of Vocal Booth Radio. We don't see him a lot in the chat, but he's always listening, and I know he gets a lot of the podcasts. He says, an incredible first year. Keep the growth and the vibes going. Darren Giles joined us a few months in, and he says, it's been an amazing first year for Vocal Booth Radio with so many amazing shows and eclectic choice of music. Big love to all who have supported me this year, but a special mention goes to the man who made it all happen and does so much behind the scenes to keep it going. Oh, thank you, Darren. I thought I'd deleted all of those. Thank you, Darren. John O'Connor, A Deeper Groove. He says he has a very up and down schedule. It's hard to listen to all the shows and even harder for me to log into the chat, but the community spirit is always strong, and I absolutely love sharing music on this wonderful station. Thank you very much, Jock. Val, who is with us inside the chat room, very kindly left a comment saying, keep doing what you're doing, David Miller Lawson, and where do you find those tunes? Like that. Lolly, who will be happy to have been nominated across a few categories, she says to everyone, keep on bringing exceptional quality to the station and spread the word. And Claire Isles, I think I see Claire regularly in the chat, but I'm not sure if I've pronounced that correct. Claire says, I love the energy of the takeover day. They were twisted and beautiful vibes. Barry Neves, my first year of working. So Barry, as you know, Mr. B, he says, my first year, I feel I have grown and learned so much listening to the talent on the station. And, you know, Barry echoes a lot of sentiments that many people say. Charles started off earlier. He says, simply put, without Vocal Booth Radio's amazing family, I don't know what I would have gone through this year. And he also adds, which I meant to say at the very beginning, we have to give a shout out for Pax and Brew. Now, if you remember rolling our minds back, we lost Pax 2 weeks into 2025, which was absolutely devastating. A few weeks later, we lost Brew. And also, it was someone who wasn't particularly well known to myself and most of us, but T-Rock as well was also presented a regular show. We lost T-Rock. So, you know, this year hasn't been without its heartbreak. It's been a very tough year for so many people. I've said before, I don't think any of us have got out of 2025 unscathed. Charles, I know you did talk at the beginning. Do you want to add anything else, or do you feel you've said everything?
God, to be honest, I'm just a bit caught up in my feelings at the moment. I will just say before I start, Scott, you were definitely robbed, and I know that because I voted for you. Yeah, I can't really separate the year from Vocal Booth Radio without going into detail. Some of you know what I've gone through during the course of this year. I think it's fair to say that there were times I wasn't sure if I would actually see this day. And I feel incredibly blessed to still be here. I feel incredibly blessed to have found a second family after the Pressure Radio days. There's just so much that I want to say. God, I want to name 3 people just because of my interaction with them during the course of this year. We've all gone through some trying times, and I want to thank them out loud for their contribution to my health and well-being. Emily Vassell, Angela Colossi, and Jeff Dart. just thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you have done in terms of messages, support, and so on and so forth. It's beyond appreciated. There is one more person that I would like to shout out live as well, just because of how far he's come in the course of this year. My man, Chris Flint. It's been just a blessing, and it's been so amazing to see your shows grow. And thank you for your shows, Chris. It's great to have you as a part of this family. It really, really is. Just keep doing what you're doing, brother. Just keep doing what you're doing. And also the listeners, you know, we do what we do week in, week out, month in, month out, and so on and so forth. But we would be nothing without the people who rock up, in my case, on a Saturday morning. And not just from the UK. People are, you know, getting up at 3-4 in the morning to listen to me and to listen to other people. The listeners, I can't thank you guys enough, because there have been mornings that it has been an absolute struggle just to actually get up and get fired up and so on and so forth. And your interactions have just kept me going for 2 hours. You know, I'm not going to lie. There have been times I've finished shows, particularly in the early part of this year, and I've literally sat down and bawled afterwards. Thank you all so much for your support for each and every one of the DJs here. And I'm so pleased that you all enjoy what we give you. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
Beautiful, beautiful words.
Finally, the music. I said it earlier on, Andy, and I wasn't kidding. Vocal Booth Radio saved my life, because on the times when I couldn't get out of bed, all I had was literally my phone and my headphones to plug into Vocal Booth Radio and just get some solace from the music. You know, Vocal Booth Radio has saved my life this year, and I will always be grateful. I'm so thankful to have found a second family. Thank you all. That's it.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Well done. Mic drop. And I think you've broken Chris Flint. I'm sure that would have meant the world to him, those words that you gave him. Thank you, Charles. We love and appreciate you. You're getting a lot of love inside the chat room. Sophia, I believe this is the same Sophia, who says, I strongly suggest that Dinga Gabba gets a weekly spot rather than once a month. I feel a little intent in those words. His style and sound is my vibe. Thank you, Sophia. Continuing down the list, Prue Fiddy, Prue, 10 till 2. I can't say Prue 10 till 2. Prue says it's super hard to choose, but thank you, Vocal Booth. You have been a lifeline throughout 2025, and a big thanks to all of the DJs. And thank you for your kind words to myself, Prue, as well. I appreciate that, and we are happy to have you back with us.
I did have a few words to say, but I can wait. I don't have to do it now.
Go on, say it now. While you're on our lips.
While I'm on your lips, well, that's where I like to be. So basically, I just wanted to say, obviously, I'm coming back after, because I did. Some of you might know I was here at the beginning, and obviously, I've been coming to the Weekender for a few years now. I've go back with Andy many years, and it's just been so amazing. The Weekenders and the radio. Obviously, when I was there in January, my software went a bit like my life. Everything went a bit kaput. So, but we won't go into the full story because we haven't got all day. So I just wanted to say, obviously, it's really grateful to Andy bringing me back on board. And I'm still making a few rookie mistakes. I've just got to remember to keep still on the mic and remember my muff, and I'm all good. But actually for me as well, all I really want to do is make music and share music and play music and all that thing. So it's amazing to be able to do that. And so it's been really, really good for me. And I also wanted to say thank you to everyone that supported my track Time and Space, because actually it was Andy. That's another story for another day as well. But that track was sitting in the vaults for a long time. Andy played it on his show. And then I had support from Emily, from the people. I just wanted to mention the people that played it and supported it: Scott Cornwall, Angeli Colossi, DML.
Did you hear Scott play it again yesterday?
I did, yeah. Do you know what? Funny enough, I was buying wine as he was playing its classic Prue, but I got back just as it finished. But I did see the chat, so thank you very much, Scott. He's played both versions, actually, Scott, so I really appreciate that. And Emily's going to have the soulful version when I finally get that out. And Claire's also played my music, and also Andy Tomlinson too. So I just want to say thank you so much for that, because actually getting that track out was one of the reasons that got me back out there to the weekend. It's got me... it's just been a real part of the big shift in my life. So I'm really grateful to everyone. Love all the DJs, love tuning in. I know sometimes I can start on the chat and I kind of get distracted, but that's me all around. But I am listening. And yeah, like I say in the message, it has been an absolute lifeline. It's been just brilliant just tuning in, and whether you want to engage or not, I've revitalised my love for Gary G. Ravy House through Mr. Ads, who I championed in my awards. And yeah, so many people to mention, but and actually I'll just mention other people. My Shazam one was Get Comfy. Obviously big shout to all the girls on top for doing their fantastic work and music. And yeah, and I want to say thank you actually also obviously to Andy, main guy, but also to Emily as well, because she really kept me involved, and I think if she hadn't been around, I might not have really stuck around as much for whatever, so I appreciate that, Emily. And in recent weeks, Claire, for keeping me on top. Well, anyway, I'll stop the innuendos now. So, but yeah, anyway, Happy New Year. And also, yeah, to everyone that joins in and has tuned in, and it's been, love being involved. Hi to all the guys in the chat room who were there. I love chatting with you on the laugh. Anyway, thank you.
So I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just wanted to jump on before we lose Moses. Have you got 2 minutes, brother, just to say a couple of words before you bounce?
Oh yeah, go.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, man.
How are you? Thank you for your amazing shows on Christmas and New Year's Eve. Most appreciated. I was listening back to them early doors. The Christmas Day one particularly was very nice. I'm yet to hear last night's show. How did it go?
It's all right, actually. Kind of changed things up. I'm don't really play that much deep house, but I did a couple of hours of deep house last night. Pretty impressed with the response from the chat room. Just want to say this year's been amazing. Yeah, I still have to pinch myself to actually understand that I'm on such a wonderful radio station alongside some heavyweight DJs. It's an honour. It's a privilege to be here, I have to say.
Well, you stand side by side with them all, mate. You hold your own amongst everyone, so fair play. And Emily's saying that it's a pleasure to hand over to you every month. You're a true gentleman, so big up yourself.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm like, damn, after Emily's show, I'm thinking, how can I top that? It's almost impossible, because she does such a wonderful show. She does a wonderful job as well. So I have to come after that and do 2 hours and think, damn. But I get through it, man, and it's such a wonderful community. Feedback from everyone. It's amazing, man. As I say, I still have to pinch myself every day.
Props to you, mate. Props to you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for making the journey all the way down from Scotland down to the gathering. Do you know what I mean? Little things like that. There are so many. It's very difficult to comment on efforts that people make without it sounding derogatory to other people who don't make as much effort. But you can't not give credit where credit is due. You made the effort, you were there, it's fantastic. Little things like that don't go unnoticed. I say little things, it's a huge thing. Do you know what I mean? So respect to you, brother.
I'm thinking now, the next one's in Bournemouth. That's like one end of the country to the other.
Yeah. Get on a plane. You'll be all right. Make a full weekend of it, you'll be fine.
Yeah, definitely. But it's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you very much.
Respect, mate. Enjoy the rest of your New Year's Day. So here we are. We've still got like 20 people inside the Zoom, and the chat is busy. The stream is packed. People are still listening to us. That's the strength and the beauty of Vocal Booth Radio and the listeners. I think I have spoken. I haven't. I think Michael was putting the kids to bed. Chris, have you compose yourself, Mr. Flint? Do you want to talk, or are you going to get all emotional on me?
I'm all right now.
Yeah.
I've got myself together again. That was, as usual, a shock out of nowhere. But thank you for those words. Yeah, what do you want to know, mate?
I just wanted to thank you for, coming in and jumping in with both feet. We've had you before on the Zooms. The first one to say, you're fairly new to it all and has been like a huge fan of the Brother C for amongst many others for such a long time. So to have him heap praise upon you, I know it would have meant a lot to you. And you've settled in. You're not nervous anymore. You've come out of your shell. You, as you say, you communicate more on the microphone. You put more effort into the features within the show. You sound like you're having a blast all the time.
I'm having a blast. It's a learning process that's just. I have to be honest. I've been messaging Charles in the meantime. I've had questions in my head. Do I belong? Can I do this? And it's been a struggle. Sometimes, maybe, I think you said before, I just overthink it too much rather than just letting it go. But it always works out well. And it's that the 5 minutes before you go on, your heart starts pounding. And is, how are people going to accept this? And is it going to go well? And people have said 2 hours later, you come off with this big grin on your face. And it's like, I want to do that again. Yeah, I'm loving it. It's something that I never expected. If you'd have said to me at the beginning of last year, you'll be finishing 2025 with a monthly radio show, I'd have laughed in your face because it came out of nowhere. But I really wouldn't change it for the world now.
Amazing. Well, Jason Thornton had mentioned earlier about e-colours, and I want to draw reference to it ever so very quickly, purely for the fact because you have your e-colours in your Zoom name, and your personality traits make it even more difficult for you at times to put yourself out there to the public. A, to communicate publicly, and B, to leave yourself wide open for criticism, which is what you do every time you're putting those records. So for you to overcome those challenges, it's no mean feat, right? I'm sure you're aware of that.
That's one of the reasons I do it. And it's partly, but not even partly, a lot of that comes from you, from the inspiration that comes from you, from your newsletters and everything that you do with e-colours. You've pushed me in a way that has given me the opportunity to try something and not be scared. And it's one of the reasons that I said yes when I got the offer to come on. It was like, do it now or never do it at all. And last year, 2025, was strangely enough full of opportunities like that for me. I started a job in a shop working daily face-to-face with people, which was completely not the kind of thing that I'd done before. And then the radio show came along, and the upshot is I've always been very sort of seclusive and isolated. I can deal with people, but it's always been very uncomfortable. I've found out through 2025, through the radio show, I actually like being around people, which has been a bit of a shock for me. And I'm changing, I'm growing, I'm developing. I'm still a very strong green blue, but I'm finding out for myself now how to get over that. And it just makes being with people easier. And I know Jason mentioned it before. I can only recommend it.
Mm-hmm. Well, beautiful. Thank you for being another great advert. Val is definitely interested. This was never intended to be, an advert for looking into our personalities and overcoming our communication. But it's something I will be talking to people more about in 2026. Charles shares a photograph of Brew inside the chat room. Respect indeed. Okay, so I'm going to carry on through some of these comments, and again, I'm blown away that we're 2 hours and 45 minutes into this thing, and thank you all for starting to help to communicate with me as well, because it's not just me chatting all the time. Ian Leggett Larry, he was with us earlier and he had to bounce. Let me read his comments. He says, the energy and enthusiasm for the music we all love is very clear to see. To be able to express ourselves amongst such a supportive and receptive group is like a dream come true. He then passes on some gratitude to myself. He says, it's a tough market to try and grab regular listeners away from, but the usual listening habits, especially in the South, it's very difficult. But the context we all bring definitely helps to sway more and more people as we spread our influence. Massive respect to everyone involved. I am honoured to be in all of your companies. That's lovely words, right? Really, really nice words. Scott and Emily, keep your eyes on the chat. People are trying to get in for me, please. Thank you very much. Then how did I just mute myself then? Could you guys hear me then?
No,
How long was I talking for?
I think I muted you. I think Emily went to let Rolf in, and I did at the same time, and I muted you.
It's a good job I looked up. I'd have been chatting away to myself.
Because we had a slap on the wrist. I was like, oh, it's
There was no slap on the wrist. I said, can you let someone in the room, please? There's no slap involved. I can't even make a comment without being seen as a grumpy bastard. Right, so where did we get to? I was talking about Damien, who jumped off because he was cooking. Let me just go back through the chat and see who's in here, because there's still people enjoying and listening and laughing. Bernie T, round of applause for Bernie. I'm sure you heard yourself get a mention earlier, Bernie. I want to thank you for your energy. I've said it all the time during my own show and for everyone else's show. You know, to wake up of a morning and see yourself and Ashley having the banter with everybody else, it does mean a lot, and I know it means a lot to the DJs, so respect to you. I look forward to sending a little gift your way, and please share our words to Ashley as well. Damo, I'll read out his comments. He says, to the Girls on Top crew, I love you lot and your energy. Bardo, you're one of the best DJs I have had the pleasure of following. Anne Walker, you are a source of huge inspiration for me and always supportive of my show. The Brother C, without your wisdom and encouragement many years ago, I wouldn't be here representing today. And then he sends some words to the Governor. Thank you for making a home for lost souls like me. That's nice. Respect, Damo. Love you, buddy, and your family. Let me continue to see if anyone else joins us who I want to say hello to this fine Thursday afternoon. Happy New Year. If you're recently joining us, you can check out all the new graphics that are going to be there. Sean, is that you, Mr. Quinn? Happy New Year, buddy. Welcome along. Claire Lawless says, Vocal Booth Radio changed my life. Love my VB fam. By the way, Claire will be up in an hour and 10 minutes. I'll be sure to jump off in good time to allow the reset and everyone get ready for the night ahead. Julie B says, well done to all the winners and a big thank you to all the DJs for supporting others in their own unique way. I'd like to send a shout out to Julie B as well for all her hard work, learning the socials or continuing to push herself with the socials. Everyone that is making more of an effort to push themselves, you know, what you put out there will come back to you. So respect. Now, another listener that's been with us for a long time from Pressure days, long ago, a good friend of DJP. He's Richard Semaine. He says, wow, what a year. When Brother C did that first show, I felt emotional, which sounds naff, I know, but I was so pleased that one of my favourites from Pressure was there for the start of the new chapter. I feel VB has really strengthened as the year has gone on. The only thing I would love is the ability to get more track names. I catch up on shows on podcasts and YouTube, and some DJs always announce, giving DJ Raw a shout out here, saying he's great. Others don't, and unless you're listening live, you can't always ask in the chat room. Oh, what a year. Thank you, Andy, for making it so great. That's it now. It's 10:05 on a Saturday, and I'm off to listen to Brother C, and that's Rick. So those are all of the comments. Raw joins us. He's just up the road again. He's I think he's got his passport. You want to say any words, brother? After we did our one-on-one interview a few months ago, it was a pleasure to spend more time with you. We've been giving props and praise to everyone for their awards. Do you want to share some more words about what this year's meant to you?
It's been really good. Got me back into DJing. I kind of stepped away from it all for a little while. So yeah, it's been really good to sort of get back into it. I love playing music. I mean, music's pretty much a big part of my life because, obviously I work in the music business. So I've been doing that for a very, very long time. And it's been an absolute pleasure to sort of, stand alongside all the other wonderful DJs on the station. A real pleasure.
Brilliant. Thank you, my friend.
Some amazing talent.
As I say on a graphic in the chat room, we are just getting started. I never came, with Vocal Booth Radio with any delusions of what we were going to achieve, any ridiculous expectations. We said that from the off. Everybody that joins the station, they're given a clear outline of what is expected. I don't use the word expected because we don't have any expectations, and yet in true Andy Ward Gemini style, we would think that people would want to put so much into their own shows and pushing their sound and whatever, because you're doing this for you guys really and nothing else. I am going to continue coming towards the end of these words with closing, and these are more notes that I put down after collating all of this detail, which seems like such a long time ago. It says, although the awards end here, the community does not. Whether you are named once, many times, or not at all, the station exists because people choose to contribute. Music, presence, support, conversation, consistency, all of that matters. And I want to thank you to everyone who voted, listened, played, supported, and showed up through the year. I wanted to mention all of those words. It feels unnatural reading it out. I keep saying that, but it's the truth. And as Charles will always know, and his words in the VB program, this is what we built together. Look at what we did, and that will always continue to be poignant words. And I've saved some comments here for last because they really touched me. And it's short but sweet. And Mrs. C, Rachel Cornwell, says, Andy, I cannot put into words just how much being part of this amazing family has brought to our lives. And I'm not sure why, because it's true and it's heartfelt, and I know how important Vocal Booth Radio is to Scott, but I wanted to end running through the comments with those words and come back to Scott and to Emily, because it is difficult sometimes, isn't it, Scott, to convey what it does mean to us, because if you're not fully invested, it can seem a little bit corny and a little bit cheesy. But when it does really hit you, everything just makes sense, right? Did I do a very good job of explaining that?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's changed my life this year, without a doubt. And obviously it's had a massive impact on Rachel as well. I can't thank you enough for what you've brought to our lives this year.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I'm sure it's the same for everyone else, and Emily as well. Thank you for, I wanted to publicly give you both praise and props as well for dealing with me and my bear with a sore head at times. And, there's no one giving me a pat on the back dealing with you, Pear. But that's all right. I'll take it. I'll take one for the team. I think I've spoken to everybody here.
Sorry, Andy. I'm going to talk over you. Can we all do like a proper round of applause, like take your audio mute off and just actually clap for like a few minutes? Can everyone do that, please? For for Andy and of course Emily and Scott, like that, like you do like when you're like in a room.
Yeah, I don't think you'll hear it because everyone's got the sound suppression on their microphones. Schoolie inside the chat room, still with us. Wow, listening to me talking for 3 hours. Gotta love that. He says, bravo guys, what you have achieved in a year is special, and anyone who dips in can feel the community. And in a world that's broken, it feels like the world we remember when it's good, and see our similarities over differences. I love that. Thank you, Schoolie. Oh, I'd love to get you to come into the Zoom and have a chat and tell everyone how amazing you are. I think I've spoken to everyone apart from Ladybird that I can still see. We've still got 20 people on the Zoom. Thank you all guys for being here. I'm going to allow you to bounce in a second, and what I'll do 3 hours in, I don't think I need to carry on talking for another hour. I just let a mix play before Claire jumps on, unless Claire wants to jump on early, but I know she will have probably put a 2-hour show together. Right, Ladybird, Siobhan, Clash at the Titans contestant in the past, got the bug to become a DJ, jumped at the opportunity to become a Vocal Booth Radio DJ, and hasn't been without her own trials and tribulations and difficulties and technical issues to overcome, but you get in there and you enjoy it, right?
I love it. It's amazing. It's brought so much joy to my year. It's been a tough year this year, but it's got me through. I had to miss out on June, but other than that, I've managed to get all my shows together each month. And I hadn't been on the radio before. I didn't want to tell you that in case you wouldn't let me do it. But I hadn't actually been on the radio, not even as a guest for someone else. So I've learned an awful lot. It's been amazing. And everyone's support is just so, I feel like I've been wrapped in cotton wool with you all. So thank you so much.
Bless you. I've just realised, actually, I've been on air that long. I'm sure in the middle of doing this show, there was a bloody show separator that probably would have played when I was talking. And it's going to kick in again now. Oh, well. Can't remember to do everything. You can't get all the stuff. So, in a minute, that show separator is going to kick in.
No, it won't, because it's 5 o'clock, Andy. It went off at 4 o'clock.
Oh, right. It's all right. I'm looking at it. It's 6 o'clock for me. Well,
it went off at 4 o'clock, mate. I heard it.
Was I saying anything important? Probably not.
Nah.
Love that. What I was going to say, Angela inside the chat room has given her nominations, and I'll run through them very quickly. She says she misses the awards, and these were Angela Colossi's nominations. Best Microphone Energy for Claire Lawless. Best DJ in the Mix was Black Wax. John Rogers for Best Monthly Show. Jeff Dart, she wished would be weekly. Best Presenter Voice was John Coomer. Best Weekly Show, Andy Tomlinson. Best Biggest Party Starter was Bardo from the Girls on Top. Chatroom Champion, Ashley Manchester. Community Champion, Get Comfy. Individual Show of the Year, myself. Thank you so much, Angela. Most Consistent, The Brother C. The Most Eclectic, Scott Cornwell. Most Listened to Frequently was Decades of House. Most Improved Mic Confidence, Damien Squire. Most Inspirational Selector, Sean Quinn. Outstanding Listener Support, Wendy Rogers. Shasam's Nemesis, Happy Smiles. Social Media Champion, Emily Vassell. And Most Personifies the Vocal Booth Vibe is Sahara 247. That's very nice. Beautiful. Shawnee's saying thank you. John Rogers jumping in to say big love to Andy and all the DJs at Vocal Booth Radio. Thank you for the time and passion. The effort behind the scenes never goes unnoticed. It's an honour to be part of such a committed, supportive crew. And to everyone who's tuned in, supported the shows, or just found a moment of comfort through the music, thank you. And to anyone who's been fighting their own battles in 2025, I see you. You made it through another year, and that counts for everything. Here's to fresh starts, strong days, and bigger energy in 2026. Keep believing, keep pushing, and keep the music alive. I really think I don't need to say any more than that. I think we should end there. Is that Dave?
It was only a quick one.
Make it quick then, because John's just given us some beautiful words.
I will. It was only a quick one. I wanted to show love and gratitude to Nick, Get Comfy, because I know he couldn't make it today, and And I don't listen to his show every week, but when I do, I'm always blown away by the track selection. He's like Bandcamp king, and he's always supportive with everybody else as well. And with him not being here, I thought I'd just show him some love. And there was a show that he did when I was driving around Italy, and I had it on the podcast, and it was just every single track. It was like, what the hell's this? What the hell's this? So I just wanted to show some love to him.
Beautiful. He will appreciate that, and I'll tag him. So to everyone that is still here in the chat, thank you for giving me your time, and to everyone that's taken the time to come back and watch the recording, because I know it's an inconvenient day, but if you've made it this far, then the utmost respect to you. I will bid you all farewell. Have a wonderful day. Congratulations to everybody. I'm sure I should have ended off with some wiser words, but I hopefully my gratitude and my appreciation to you all has come across with this show. That's what the awards were for, to lay flowers at all of your feet. And I continue to say this is the beginning. We haven't started yet. The best is yet, the best is yet to come. Okay, so you go and have yourselves a great evening. Thanks a lot. I'm just going to kill this Zoom and say goodbye to everybody in the chat. Take care, everyone. Respect.